Hello everyone. Welcome to Momma Jo's Kitchen, or welcome back. I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. I'm getting a little bit of a late start today. I should have gotten started about a half hour ago. I mean, I've been up and I've been ready and prepping and doing all kinds of stuff, but I usually try to get my video started and the food done just as my husband gets home from work. And, you know, I'm kind of recovering from a cold. I still have, some leftover of this cold, but I'm feeling a little bit better. But I need to get things going. Now, over here, you can't see it. I have a rice cooker, and I have a couple cups of white rice that I am currently cooking. So I don't have to worry about that. That's the nice thing about a rice cooker. But what we have to do in the meantime is, in this skillet, and I'm hoping I chose a big enough skillet, but I'm going to try to make it work in this skillet. I have about 1/4 of a cup. I always save my bacon grease, and it's excellent for what we're doing today. We need to get some bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs browned. So in this container right here, and I chose this container only because you don't have to have a container. I just think it's going to make it a little bit easier. I got this at the Dollar Tree, and it has a little seal and a locking lid. And I'm going to take these chicken pieces, and I'm going to just put them in here, and I'm going to shake it up. I'm going to put the lid on it and give it a good shake. Now, what I have in here is seasoned flour. And if we have any flour left over, we will definitely, let me grab a plate. We will definitely use that too. Okay, so I have a 1/2 cup of flour. I'm trying to save on the flour. I usually end up having too much flour left over, and then that just gets wasted. Now shake off the excess here. And we're going to repeat that with all 4 pieces. And I have, let's see, a 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour. I put in 1 tablespoon of ground paprika. I'm going to turn this down. It's a little bit, my oil is really, really hot, but we want it to be hot. I'll leave the recipe for you at the end of the video too. See, we're smoking. Let's see, seasoned salt. I was trying to think. I used white pepper. And I used, Lowry seasoned salt and paprika. That's all there is to this. I want to try to hurry up and get it in here since I'm smoking. Okay, I got 1 more piece back here. Now, of course, you could do 6 pieces. I just happened to, when I went to the store, that's what I ended up getting, was a 4-pack. Make sure it's got a good lid on it, because if not, you're going to have a mess when you shake it. All right, I want to get these in. Okay, so I'm going to put it skin side down. We'll try to get all 4 in here. There we go. Now I've got a little mess here to clean up, but we could talk about some things in the meantime. When I do it for all chicken, I always have a pan of hot, soapy bleach water and a rag to clean up my surfaces. To try to, keep down on the bacteria and stuff. Okay, let me dip it here in the dish pan here, water. So what we're making today, some people would call it Hungarian chicken paprikash. Basically, it's paprika is what we're going to be using today. I won't try to turn this until I think it's nice and brown. It shouldn't stick whenever it's been released. I'm just going to get my flour tongs here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get another plate, because once we get them brown, we're not cooking them all the way through. We're just going to brown them on both sides. We'll take them out. If we need to add any grease or butter or whatever you want to use, oil, you can add a little bit, and we'll get a few things over here sauteed up. Today's dish is chicken paprikash, is what I call it, chicken paprikash. But if you can get a good quality paprika, by all means, you want to go with what they call it sweet. It's just the regular kind. This is just, I actually had to go borrow this from my mom because I had one, but it only had about a tablespoon left in it, and I needed some more to divide up, because I wanted some for my flour, and I want some for the dish. And I think this is probably a Dollar Tree brand. It's okay. I have smoked paprika, but I don't want spicy, and I don't want smoke. I want a sweet paprika flavoring for this. But if you can get a good quality one, I would go with that. We could talk about a few other things while that's browning. I've got a tablespoon of tomato paste. I've got more paprika. I've got 2 tablespoons here. I've got some freshly chopped parsley that I had in my window. This is just going to be used as a garnish to give it some color, because, of course, this dish is going to be pretty red, but we need something to give it a pop. This is 2 cloves of garlic that I have peeled and minced. This is 1 shallot that I have chopped into little slivers. Now this was left over from when I made the turkey a la king. I had opened up a jar of roasted red peppers. Now this is optional. You don't have to use this. If you don't have this and you make this without it, it'll still be good. But what I did is I pulled out one of those halves and wiped it on a paper towel, and because it's roasted, it had some charred places on it, and I just took a paper towel and wiped those charred pieces off, and I put this in my blender and I pureed it up. It's about 3 ounces. It's between 1/3 and 1/2 of a cup. I think that's going to add more flavor. I have some Chardonnay here. This is about 1/3 of a cup. And if we need it, and we might need it, this is going to get stirred in with our sour cream. And I'll explain that to you. And we need broth. Let me think. I think this chicken we should be able to turn it now. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now this here, I'm currently out. I really need to get to the store. This is 2 cups of water, and what I've done is, thanks to my dear friend Steve, thanks Steve, he told me about this Knorr's tomato bouillon chicken flavor. And these cubes are large. Let me show you. Okay, and the directions say you take half of a cube if you want to make 1 cup of liquid. I wanted to make 2 cups of liquid. I'd rather make sure I have enough than not enough. And I put the whole cube in there, and I stuck it in my microwave for like 3 minutes, and then I whisked it so everything was all melted and combined. I have not tried this, so we'll find out if we like this today or not. Well, my husband, I should say, will let you know what he thinks of it. Okay. I got plenty of grease still in this pan, so that's a good thing. Let me go over here and grab another plate to put my chicken on. I'll be right back. There we go. Now, we're going to take the chicken out. We're going to saute up the rest of our ingredients over here. Then we're going to put the chicken back in, and it will finish cooking in here. So, I don't know. If I had to guess, maybe about 4 minutes on each side. If you want to brown that top a little bit more, by all means, you could do that. Matter of fact, I think I will turn it over and brown it just a little bit more on that one side for Michael. I have a feeling this is not going to last very long. He usually comes home and he's pretty hungry, and he can put away some food, folks. Let me tell you. Alright, let me get that a little bit darker, and I'll bring you back. That'll give me a chance to clean up here a little bit. It will only be a second for you guys, because when I bring you back, they'll be good to go. Just get that chicken skin nice, brown, and crispy the way you want it, and then we'll move on. So we'll be right back. Alright, folks, she's looking good here. I did turn it back over for just a few minutes. Now I'm going to take those out. And if there's too much grease in here, pour a little bit of it out. There's a good bit in here. So I am going to pour some of that out. Okay. A little bit of that dripped on my stove. That's why it's smoking there. I probably got about 2 tablespoons left in here. I have to give my stove a good cleaning. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is get my shallots in there. Let me get my... It won't take them long. That pan is hot. Boy, it smells really good. That's what it's looking like there. Now remember, it's not done. We want to slow cook it in here. Once we get, everything seasoned up here and get all of our other stuff in here. I had some left over here, the seasoned flour. Don't throw this out. So I measured out about 3 tablespoons here. Now this is going to sound strange, but trust the process. It's going to go in with our sour cream. This goes in towards the end of the cooking. Okay, looking good here. Like I said, that doesn't take very long. Now, while we have the oil in here, you want to get your paprika in here. Go ahead and get your sauce in here. If you're using this. Get our garlic in there. I don't know what I did with my little, there it is. Get our tomato paste in here. I have a tablespoon. Wish you all could smell this. The red peppers and that little bit of tomato. Okay. We're going to get this in there. This is our white wine. I use whatever I have on hand. I don't drink it. I like the taste that it gives in cooking. But by all means, you can skip that if you don't want to and just add broth. Okay. It's very nice, thick sauce. Now I'm going to let that cook just a little bit here before we go to the next step. We're getting ready to add everything back in. Smells wonderful. I heard a noise back there. That was the rice cooker. When it gets done, the little button pops up on it. I love my rice cooker. I don't like to have to stand over and watch something like that. All right, I think we are good enough to get this. We'll go ahead and get our broth in here. And we're going to get our chicken back in here. There was a little bit of that tablet at the bottom that wasn't completely dissolved. So try to get all that in there if you can. But what we want to do is we want to get this back up to the temperature. We don't want it boiling really hard, but we do want it to, come to a boil and then turn it. We're going to put the lid on it. We're going to get our chicken in here and we're going to get the lid put down on it. Okay, let's get our chicken nestled in here. Okay. You have any pan drippings or anything, just put it in there. Okay. All right, I'm not going to put the lid on it yet. I'm going to wait till I get it. For one thing, it might help if I turned it up, because I had turned my stove down a little bit, because in the beginning it just got way too hot on me. And now I'm turning it back up on a 4, which is what I typically cook everything on this stove, is about a 4. I have an electric stove, and 4 is the halfway point for me. It's really more like a medium-high. That's what I've learned, to gauge on this. Now, this burner here, I can't rely on this burner at all. I will cook on the back burners if I absolutely have to. Okay, it's starting to just bubble here a little bit. Make sure you got yourself a lid. And what we're going to do is, once I get it bubbling here, I'm going to turn it down. Michael's home already. I'm going to get this turned down. He's going to have to wait on dinner because it's not done yet. And I'm going to bring you back when I think the chicken is done. My guess is it's going to take about 40 minutes. Something like that. You can always get your thermometer out if you're not sure, and you can stick it in the meat, and it should be about 165. Then we'll take the chicken out one more time, and we'll get everything finished up here. I'm going to take that flour I can show you here, and that was the seasoned flour. I'm going to put it in with the sour cream. I'm going to give it a good stir. And the reason why we're doing that is a couple reasons. One is so that it will not curdle on us when we go to make our sauce. So, see, I'm boiling now, so I'm going to put the lid on. And I'm going to turn it down to about a 3. If it's still too much, I will, you know, turn it down even more. Now I'm going to set my timer. I'm going to at least do 30 minutes. I'm going to check it at 30 minutes. I'm going to get my little, I have a little Pampered Chef thermometer. And I'm going to set it on chicken, and I will check one of them after 30 minutes is up. And if it's not quite where we need to be, I'll cook it on for maybe another 5-10 minutes. And that should do it, folks. Hang in there. It'll be just a second for you. I'll bring you back, and we'll take this chicken out. We'll get our sour cream in there. Like I said, that helps to thicken too, but that also flavors our sauce. I'll get Michael's rice done up on a plate, and then I've got the parsley, and Michael's going to give you a taste test, but please go over to our short section on my channel, and he'll give you a taste test. All right, folks, hang in there. We'll be right back. All right, folks, I checked it about, I think it was 20 minutes. It's either 15 or 20 minutes, and it was only up to 150 something the temperature. So right now I'm checking it. It's working its way up. I'm thinking we should be there. 162. $163. Let me pull it out and check this one right here. I don't want to stick it in too far. 162, 63. It says 165 is good. We're at 165. Okay, 167. Mine is actually set for 170. So I know 165 we are good. Let me check this one back here, just to be on the safe side. Now, each one says something different. This one's 172. 174. Okay. You know, it all depends on how you stick it in there. If you stick it in too far and touch the bottom, it's not going to give you an accurate reading. We're definitely over 165. 169. So that, for me, I'm right at 30 minutes with not disturbing it or anything. Okay, so let me cut this timer off. I'm going to carefully take my chicken out because I don't want it to fall apart on me, because it's been slow cooking. It's likely to fall apart on you. I mean, that is, you know, kind of what you want here. Here I am making a mess. So let me take these chicken pieces out, and we'll get this sauce stirred in here. You know, if you're not sure, maybe you don't have a thermometer, you could safely just continue, because you have plenty of sauce here. See, you don't have to worry about, like, you know, it becoming dry or anything like that. You could always let it cook for another 10 minutes. There's nothing wrong with that, you know, if you want to make sure it's done. Okay, so now I wanted to whisk this in, but I don't have my one whisk, and this is a non-stick pan. I have to be really careful. All right, let me see if I can get this in here and try to get it whisked in here. Now I'm just going to do a little bit here, just kind of whisk it around. I want to get the rest of the sour cream in there. Michael's home, and I know he is hungry. He was already going for a bag of chips when he came in. He just can't wait. Alright, so get most of the sour cream in there. Now, we want to, you know, make sure that gets heated back up. It shouldn't take long because this is already plenty hot. I'll have to give my stove a really good cleaning, folks. Okay, now you want to get your chicken back in there, get everything coated. It's a process. Okay, let me get Michael's plate done up. I'll get a picture of this, show y'all what it looks like. And if you want to check out that taste test, please go over to the short section of my channel and check that out. This is all you need to do is, now we're just bringing everything, you know, it's the sauce is thickened, everything is done. I want to get this, you know, served up to Michael, and dinner is done. Don't forget the parsley. I've got the parsley. We'll sprinkle that on there too. All right, folks. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you all enjoyed this recipe. And come back and see what Momma Jo's going to be making for Michael the rest of this week. All right, everybody have a wonderful and a blessed day.